There's an aspect of connectivity that's very, very important that is often overlooked as we rush headlong to look at the electromagnetics and the dominance and all of these lovely things in relationships. And I'm referring here to the nodes of the moon. And the nodes are very important to us as individuals because on the design side, the unconscious side of our design, the nodes of the moon really set the physical environment that the vehicle, the bioform that you're riding in is designed to operate in correctly. And the conscious side of the nodes of the moon are there to bring us our perspective on that environment. Remember, we have an inner authority because that authority is aligned to putting us in the correct place, the correct geometry. And our personality, our mind, once it's been carried by the form, is designed to see in a very particular way. So the conscious personality side of the nodes is really quite relevant in terms of connectivity because it's defining what we're looking for in life, the social milieu that we're designed to see around us. The nodes of the moon set the scenario for the kinds of people that you're going to meet in your life, because the nodes represent the background landscape or scene that you are designed to move through in your life. And of course, there's the basics of the nodes. If you have two individuals, one is under 40, the other is over 40, well, certainly they're at different parts of their nodal movement. The one under 40 is still locked into the south nodal view. The one over 40 has moved beyond the south node and is now in the north nodal perspective of their life. And of course that's important, as is the fact that if you have a 6 line in your profile and you're younger, well, you're not really going to be acting like a 6 line being because your life is in this tripartite movement. The first Saturn return really is the trigger point for that 6 line to truly start mutating to its natural frequency. But in terms of connectivity, the quality of the people in your life who are going to be around you in your life and you're going to be interested in terms of connectivity really can be seen through the lines of the nodes on any connection chart. And it's very, very important because if you listen to some of the other connection videos that I've done here, certainly with the connection themes, the 8 and 1, the 9 and 0, the 7 and 2, and so on. Remember these open centers. Here we have this 8 and 1 again. This open center, the head center, well, that is something where the couple can move together out into the world, socializing together through the theme of that one open center, this center of inspiration. And of course, an 8 and 1 is about learning to have fun together. Well, this is why you need to look at the nodal lines of your connection with your partner or any connectivity that you're looking at. Because if there's a mismatch in the nodal lines, well, you're more likely to move apart as you move out of that open center than you are to move together. So here we have 4th line nodes with person B, and we know the 4th line is the networking line, it's the friendliness line, it's the let's come together and share, discuss, opportunities arise out of that networking dynamic. And yet person A here has 6th line conscious nodes. And we know the dynamic of the 6th line. It's the line that really is very aloof. It doesn't even particularly want to belong to the hexagram that it's part of. It's always looking beyond. It's looking for the next first line in the wheel. It's looking at the entire energy circuit that it is connected to. So a 6th line in terms of socializing is very aloof. It's looking for very different kinds of things than the fourth line. It's the role model line. And as I mentioned earlier, with a sixth line, if you have a sixth line partner and they're under 29 years of age, well, they're operating through a kind of trial and error life with a sixth line view. And it looks to them like nothing seems to work out. And it's only when they get to their first Saturn return that they start to see in this more aloof, they move up onto the Saturnian roof, so to speak, and they have a very different outlook to somebody that's carrying a fourth line throughout their life. So clearly what you're looking for is full resonance in terms of the nodal activations in you and your partner's charts. Full resonance means that if one partner has a first line, the ideal is that the other person also has first line nodes, and thus you're looking for the same social dynamic, and thus it's more likely that you will go out of that open center together and stay together and have some fun together, do the work together if it's a 7 and 2. Be free, but when you're back together, well, that freedom means that you're resonating to the same social milieu potentially, if it's a 6 and 3 theme. So if you've got a mismatch, a dissonance in nodal lines, here we have this 7 and 2 chart, remember, work to do. Well, person A has third line nodes. This is the line of adaptability. You hear the kind of tagline, trial and error, and it is. It's, unexpected things suddenly impacting you, and you have to adapt to that. This is why this is the line of the material. So this is the dynamic that the person A is looking for when they go out of one of these windows, the ajna or the head center. But person B here, first line nodes, they're looking for something completely different than person A. And thus this is one of the kind of thorns in the sides of connectivity, when on paper it looks like you've got a lovely 8 and 1 or even a 9 and 0, and yet you've got completely dissonant nodal lines, and it means you're unlikely to go out of that window together. So this is often one of the greatest challenges in relationships. There's a lot of nodal differentiation, and you have different kinds of people who are there to populate the landscape for the development of your individual process. So if you go out of one of these open centers, naturally you are being aligned to the nodal geometry of your foundation design. And if your partner doesn't have a similar, or the next best would be some kind of harmonic geometry. So if your partner has first line nodes and you have fourth line nodes, at least there's a kind of harmonic understanding there. The networkers know that you need to do your study. Otherwise, why externalize something that has no foundation, no depth to it? And the studiers know that there's no point investigating and studying if it's never externalized. So a 1 and a 4 can work together. It's not as perfect as a full resonance, but it's the next best thing. But full dissonance, a first line and a second line, a first line and a third line, that brings an extra level of difficulty in terms of connectivity. Remember, the open center in your connection, this 8 and 1 or 7 and 2, it's a way of getting out of your relationship if you don't go through it together. And if you only have one way to get out, like an 8 and 1, well, you can possibly go out of that window together, this inspiration in the 8 and 1 chart. And thus the challenge is integrating the view landscape that you naturally resonate to. And of course, the moment you get more than one center, more than one way to get out of the connection, and you've got nodal line dissonance, it becomes very, very challenging indeed. Because dissonant nodal lines means that in fact you're meant to meet different kinds of people, and thus potentially this is not a match made in heaven. And you should also look at the unconscious nodes, because that is an indicator of where your bioform, your physical body, if you're following your strategy and inner authority process, that is where your body is going to take you in terms of the physical environment, because that's where your opportunities for progression and fulfillment are. So here in this 7 and 2, not only do we have dissonant nodal lines, we've got two people that are designed to be in completely different environments, physical environments. Person A is meant to be busy in a market environment, and person B is meant to be kind of laid back and relaxed in a kitchen environment. In this 8 and 1 connection, person A is designed to be relaxed in a valley environment. Well, the valley is an environment where there's a lot of pressure, because it's very, very low down. This is someone that's here to be in a wide valley. Well, person B is here to be on the shore. They don't want to be in a valley. They want to look beyond. So these people are designed to be in completely different physical environments, and they have completely different personality nodal views. So really pay attention to this once you get through the surface of the open centers and the different types coming together. A lot of the challenges in terms of connectivity come through the impact of the nodal lines, both personality and design.